Hey, restaurant pros, are you struggling to manage your management team? Do you feel like you know what to expect from them on a daily basis, but it just isn't happening? How about understanding what your managers need to be doing on a daily basis isn't enough? I want to talk to you about how you're the solution to this challenge and what you need to do to change. We're going to talk about that in just 2 seconds. I'm David Scott Peters, restaurant expert, coach, and creator of the Restaurant Prosperity Formula, and I've been coaching restaurant owners since 2003, and I'm really glad you're here to learn. If you're on a quest for restaurant prosperity, which is freedom from your restaurant and the financial freedom you deserve, then you know how important managers are to achieving this goal. And the only way to get there is that they do what you need them to do. I want to shed some light on what challenges typically arise on this journey and how you can overcome them. But before I get into that, if you like tips and tricks like this, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and oh yeah, that bell so you're notified when my next video tip comes out. And for more tips and tricks for running a profitable restaurant or to hear restaurant owner success stories, make sure you tune into my podcast, Restaurant Prosperity Formula, found on all the popular podcasting services. Look, I get it. Managing your management team can be a challenge. You think to yourself, I told them what I wanted done. Heck, I've even shown them. Yet I can't get them to do it, or at least on a consistent basis. So how can I change this nauseating merry-go-round? Well, you're in the right place because I'm going to tell you. There's a formula for success. And the good news is that number one, it's a proven formula for success. And number two, you're the solution. What do I mean by this? Well, before I get deep into this, I've got to make sure that you have the right mindset. You've probably heard me talk about mindset here on my YouTube channel. The difference between having a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. In order to reach restaurant prosperity, to have managers be able to do what they need to do on a daily basis, that you can have the confidence to leave your business and make the money you deserve, you must start with yourself, you. You must not have a fixed mindset. A fixed mindset owner says, oh, look, here's a challenge. Oh, it's the government's fault. It's my vendor's fault. It's my employee's fault. It's my damn customers. It's Yelp. It's whatever it may be. You blame everyone. When an obstacle appears, you say it's somebody else's fault. You never look internally, accept that you created it, but you also give up. You don't even try. You don't try to fix it because it's out of your control. See, somebody with a growth mindset can see that same challenge appear and go, you know what? There's another challenge in front of me. I can outlearn it. I can outspend it. I can outthink it. I can outwork it. I'm going to find a way around, up, over, dig, under, whatever that challenge is. I can get through this. I know that I will grow my company. I'm the leader my restaurant needs. I can always see there's a positive future, even though there are challenges in front of me on a daily basis. So in order for you to sit there and say, I'm going to have a management team and manage them successfully, you have to feel like, hey, I can put the systems in place. I can hold them accountable. I can do what's necessary to help them grow, to help me grow my company, to ultimately not have to be there on a daily basis, to ensure they're doing what I want them to do on a daily basis when I'm there, but especially when I'm not, to be able to have the financial freedom to leave my business and know that I can pay everyone and make the money I deserve. That starts with mindset. That is critical to this journey. Now, if you've been following me for any length of time, then you know that I've been teaching my Restaurant Prosperity Formula. Heck, I've even written a book about it with the same title. So this is my shameless plug. So you can find a link to purchase my book in the description below. The Restaurant Prosperity Formula is based on the most successful restaurant operators I've ever worked with. I've seen them change their lives. And to be very clear, to abbreviate this, restaurant prosperity, as I said before, is freedom from your restaurant and the financial freedom you deserve. In order to get that, the formula starts with leadership. You must become the leader your restaurant needs, and that's where growth mindset is critical. Assuming you have that growth mindset, assuming you know what your strengths and weaknesses are and how systems are going to help make up for that weakness, you become the leader and say, this is the direction we're going. That's critical. You can't have fear on a daily basis. You cannot feel sad. You cannot fall into that fixed mindset You've got to make sure it's always positive. You guide people. Even if you make mistakes, you just eat the mistake and you keep moving forward. That's critical. Now, the formula, once we start with our leadership, you have a plus symbol and we add systems. There's a system, a process, a way to doing everything and anything you do in your business. It allows you to impose your will without being there. From systems for Restaurant 101, making sure the guest has the best experience every single time, to checklists and cash controls to create a culture where the details matter, to all the systems from counting out a bar drawer to $300 every single time the same way, no matter who's counting it, to advanced systems like dollars per labor hour worked, to gain efficiencies. There is a system, a process, a way to doing everything. And oh, by the way, owner, it's your way. So now we have systems in place, which also make up for our leadership weaknesses, taking somebody who's just guest experience and forces you into budgets and hitting numbers and systems, to the numbers person who only cares about numbers and systems, to communicating how you want the guest experience, cleanliness, and so on, right? Can you all of a sudden see how systems bleed into leadership? Well, we also understand to be successful, you add to your systems training. Now, the most successful restaurant operators I've ever worked with, what the book was written about, and this formula was created, this proven formula, is they understand they don't know what they don't know. So they're always going out and learning, whether it's YouTube channel, it's podcasts, it's going to trade shows and trainings and workshops and seminars, and going to mastermind meetings and having restaurant coaches and other groups to learn, because they don't know what they don't know. See, if you stick your head in the sand and say, this is all I know, then you will not change the way your restaurant operates. So they're always gathering more information, but they have a big aha. Not only do they need to learn, but they can't be the only ones who understand it. So what they do is they go out of their way to train their managers on what they've learned. See, it doesn't matter what they know, it matters what their managers know. And that's critical to your success, sharing that knowledge, gaining it and sharing it. Now, I want you to imagine those two things are on a line, a division symbol, if you will, and underneath, there's something called accountability, right? Leadership plus systems and training. Underneath that is accountability. It does not matter if you have systems. It does not matter if you have training, if you're not willing to ultimately hold people accountable to those systems. So you need to have systems for accountability. Checklists are one of those. Line checklists are one of those. It's making sure that you're walking the circle, that you have rules, regulations, training systems. You get the idea? Everything we've talked about up to this point have set you up for success to hold your team accountable. Now, I turn this around. Search my channel for Restaurant Accountability, where I teach you how to hold people accountable by changing that into a word, answerability. See, if I train people on my systems, what their job is, how to do it, how well it should be done, more importantly, by when, and they can demonstrate back to me that they understand what that job is, each one of those tasks, and they can do it on their own, literally on their own, then we can now hold them answerable because they understand their obligation, their job. They make a decision to do it or not, and they're ultimately answerable for the resulting consequences. They either did it or they didn't. And accountability is critical because now we take it from a negative to a positive. We don't have, oh, you didn't tell me, I didn't understand, and excuses to follow, because we're clear and they've shown us, they've demonstrated they can do it on their own. Which also means there's a good chance they're going to continue to do it because they know you know. Now imagine there's one more plus symbol right after that division symbol, and that's this. It doesn't matter talking about the change, thinking about the change, gathering the information, if you don't take action. The last piece, the magic to all of this, is taking action. And if you want to put these systems in place, you want to train your management team, you want to hold them accountable so that they execute every shift the way you want it, when you're there, but especially when you're not, it means you start taking action today to implement this formula for restaurant prosperity. See, understanding while this is a proven formula for management success, restaurant success, and obviously restaurant prosperity, you must understand that you're never going to cross the finish line. There's not going to be one day where we high five and say, woo, we're done. You're never going to stop working towards improving. This journey is ongoing. You can never take your eye off the ball, or you will end up starting from the beginning all over again. So look, if you want to get the most out of your management team, follow the Restaurant Prosperity Formula. take action today. And if you need one action, hey, go down in the bottom, click on the link, purchase my book. You'll be on your way to restaurant success. If you're tired of not being able to leave your restaurant because no one else knows how to run it, I want to make sure you know it doesn't have to be that way. You can leave your restaurant. It is possible to build a team of people who know how you want the restaurant to run with trained and responsible people in place. You can give yourself time away. What would you do if you had time away from your restaurant? Would you sleep better? Would your relationships improve? Would you feel more relaxed? These are all things you deserve to experience as a business owner. It's why we own our own businesses. If you would like to learn how to own a restaurant that doesn't depend on you to be successful, click the link in the description to watch a free video to learn exactly what you have to do. Also, be sure to subscribe to get my weekly tips and watch these 2 videos to get more information and guidance for running a successful restaurant.